show every Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on the African News Show. Well, again, this is the Pan-African News Show. Let's go. Can you keep a secret for a long, long time? When you're awake or sleeping, singing in no time. I know you want to keep on, baby, but I can't survive. So when you get something, then if you relax, and you'll be checking on the records every time. Your friend them in the ears, them a chat like that. You know what I'm missing on that. And don't you like it when I wake up from the bed? And don't you like it when I spend them on this land? I don't know what it is, what it is. You want to tell you, you want to get your money back. You want to spend more time, spend more time. You want to spend more time, but hey, can you keep a secret for a long, long time? When you're awake or sleeping, singing in no time. I know you want to keep on, baby, but I got my mind. I know you want to be my wife. You're gonna be young, but that means I'm enough. We're gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. You're gonna be so busy 'cause I'm gonna get like I'm so drunk, tell you come over, yeah. You wanna spend more time, spend more time. You wanna spend more time. But hey, baby, can you keep a secret? When you're awake or sleeping. Yes, karibuni sana family to yet another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. My name is Joby. To the first-time listeners and viewers, shout out to everyone on Twitter, shout out to everyone on YouTube. Today we're not live on Facebook. It seems like we're having some issues connecting to our Facebook, but of course to our special followers on Twitter. I hope you guys are doing amazing, and of course today we have brought the show live unto you. And shout out to everyone who gets to catch up this on a replay mode. Either it is on Rumble, BitChute, YouTube. We appreciate you taking your time and getting to listen what we have discussed in the few past hours in case you have missed the shows. But karibuni sana, this is the Pan-African Bliss, and of course listening to the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. This is the #1 online radio station. It's all about listening, engaging, and transforming. And most importantly, like we say, uniting the African people all over the globe. I don't care whether you are in South Africa, that is me putting the sarcasm of Keith. I don't care whether you are in South Africa, whether you are in Haiti, whether you are in Mexico, so long as you have this melanin of mine, we are supposed to be considering ourselves as one, because there was nothing existing like we were learning yesterday, which we were learning about manifesting, and we saw that most of the science, the way it has been manipulated, it is all our science, but right now we don't even recognize any of this. But karibuni sana once again, and of course I hope you guys are doing amazing, and good morning to everyone who's just waking up from diaspora. It is afternoon right here. It is exactly 1 p.m. On the dot, and of course you can hear the Muslims with their shenanigans over here. And I see Vince, I am already in the building. Karibu sana na kucheki sana, hope uko fiti. Unasema sasa Queen, hope uko poa. And like mimi nimechoka na maupuzi za hawa African misleaders and controlled opposition. We shall be getting into that, because something I want to talk about actually is part of what we saw on Monday. I mentioned of the foreign minister, the Russia foreign minister, coming to Kenya, and this was an unexpected visit and an invited visit, because us as nations, literally us as the common wananchi, the people of the nation, our employees didn't tell us what was going on. Do you know how this how disrespectful these people are? They just run businesses, and us the common wananchi, we're left out, and we're still the same people we're gonna have to bear and deal with the consequences of everything they put us through, which is super, super crazy. So we shall be talking about that. That is where my focus shall be going onto. What is it did he come to do in Africa? Because I see he was in Kenya and of course in Burundi, and he has left some few orders. And of course, this is regarding the nuclear energy and about the BRICS economy. And of course, we'll be breaking down a few points about the BRICS economy, because I think we've spoken about this, and checking still on the conspiracy theory, they say, of the conspiracy theory of the New World Order and its effects, and check on how everything right now it's applying with every effect we're seeing in Africa. But for now, we shall get back into the music. Let me know how you're doing. Once again, Karibuni. This is the Pan African Bliss, and of course, you're listening to Banner Boy, featuring that is Jeremy, and this is Secret, one of the amazing bangers that was released in 2020, and it's among my favorites. I hope you guys get to enjoy. We shall be back with a funny quote of the day, and of course, I hope you stay positive. You want to be my wife, wanna conversate, might end up in the bed if it comes to this. It will be about a week when we on the camp. You know you get it coming when you come away. My brother been a song on a song away. I tend to know for the woman that's so one for me. I hear you everything, you still want it all from me. I know you wanna spend more time, You wanna spend more time, but can you keep a secret for a long time? When you awake or sleeping, say my name no time. I know you want to be my baby. You wanna got my wife. I know you want to be my wife. You want to be my wife. Yes, and welcome back to the Pan African Bliss. This is the Black Fire Network radio station. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you are having a wonderful morning on your end, rather a good night, whatever the time is on your end. I bet it is quite early in case you're just tuning in. I appreciate you taking your time, and of course for keeping it the Black Fire Network. This is the media for the 21st century, and my name is Joby to the first time listeners and viewers. Shout out to everyone on YouTube, shout out to everyone on Twitter, shout out to everyone listening to me via our radio station. I hope you guys can get me loud and clear. 4 minutes past 1 p.m. right here in the 254. Let me know what's the time on your end. And of course, as we get started immediately, my quote of the day today is, what doesn't kill you fucks you up mentally. Okay? What doesn't kill you fucks you up mentally. Stop people telling you that it makes you stronger. Okay? Enough with the whole notion of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you fucks you up mentally. Agree to disagree, because I feel like it is true actually. Because if it has not killed you, it tend to fuck you up, so that next time you have to check on the decision and the choices you're making. You have to watch the steps you're making, because it is part of making you stronger, because you're learning along the way. But fast it really fucks you over. It fucks you over. But let me know what's the quote of your day. That is my quote of the day, and I hope you stay positive at the end of the day. 5 minutes past 1 p.m. I say Vince in the building is saying that we need this African patry politicas, okay, to confront the European colonizers for the crimes against humanity. Our ancestors and us today, they owe reparations and return everything they stole. I agree with you, and that is actually part of what I want to talk about. I want to share a video of Dr. Arikana, and she's talking about generally what I want to involve, because if you look at what we are just to focus on as our main topic of the day. Look at these unnecessary meetings. We just have African people being summoned left, right, and center. We are always attending unnecessary meetings. For what? What is the Africa-US summit for? What is the agenda? Of course, we know the agenda of part of what is the New World Order discussion and everything. But is this what literally, are they telling the truth to the African people? No. We were discussing about the media control on Monday, that is on the Africa Today show. And I think this is something we've been studying for quite some time now. Seeing how media is controlled, it is funded. They are given the same scripts to repeat over and over again. And literally, they are not even journalists. It's the CIA agencies literally giving us information. This sounds so crazy. And it is so sad, because The rest of most of the African people who have been denied access to internet, they're so dark in the world. They're so dark, not knowing, in the dark, not knowing what is really, really on the ground. Now, come to think of what, when we have the Agenda 2025, and part of what is supposed to be literally the baby that is, we have a baby that is due. God knows how many people are going to be captured. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. But shout out to Dr. Arikana. There is a fact she did spit when it comes to African people, African leaders being summoned. They're always just popping in and out. And I also question this actually, and I've been questioning, I think, for the couple 3 weeks. Do these people really rest? They're always up and down. And I spoke of distraction, where if you look at all these, you see African leaders like Ruto is here, Ramaphosa is here in things that do not even involve us. You need to go to Russia and Ukraine to talk about peace. What about Congo? What about, we see each and we were discussing this actually. Shout out to Kamlesh and a friend of mine, Mimo. They were having an argument here, and it was about why you see so many destruction in each and every African country. If you look at us right now, we are under attack. Even Kenya, in different ways, we don't know. We don't have to be literally seeing people falling down because of being shot, blood everywhere, to know that we are under attack. But we are under attack as Africa, as the continent. We are being attacked left, right, and center in different ways we don't know. Shout out to them even lying to us and making us believe Agenda 2030 is to, and this is actually still what they keep on lying, on the internet. If you look at some of the articles, if you don't know again what you're looking at, like if you know not being given so much information to know what you're really looking at, you're gonna believe on what they made us buy. Oh, it's gonna be all about development. We're gonna have good climate. We're gonna have electricity everywhere. We're gonna have literally a better future. But if you're talking about a better future, I'll go back again to my topic on Monday. What is the future of Africa? That is what I question. It is the youth, but the youth are being literally attacked. We are under attack because they do not really want us to wake up. And it is something very, very serious. Yes, and welcome back. Apologies, family, for that. We are having issues with our connectivity. This is what exactly we're talking about. Not everything working correctly. Where we're just living in a system where you have to make a million calls for things to work correctly. It's just super, super, super crazy. But anyway, welcome back. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. And of course, shout out to you, those who are just streaming in. And of course, Karibuni Sana. I am Joby, and this is the Pan African Bliss. We're saying that we're discussing about what Vince is saying. And just to start, because time is really not on our side that much, let me share this video of Dr. Arikana, where she speaks about the African leaders. They need to start going to this, every meeting they're called, all these sermons they're called, you need to attend this, you need to go attend this. What are you going to attend to? Every meeting you go attend, it's nothing to do with African people. It's nothing to favor African people. It's all always in the favor of the European, their agenda. Shout out to Joe Biden, because he's so mad. Yeah, Joe Biden is so mad because Uganda did not accept homosexuality in their country. So this stupid old, I don't know what to call him, but dictator or whatever, but he claimed that Ugandans, I don't know if it is the member of parliament or Ugandans as a whole. I don't know if it's the member of parliament, but he denied them the visa access and everything. But I've seen Blinken is coming forth to defend the Ugandan officials and everything. But still, shout out to Museveni for doing this. We saw him hesitating, but it is literally right now choking them on their core. I bet it is making them so mad to see that an African leader can say no to their agenda. This is what we need to see more. Okay? Not them always agreeing to everything they're told. Yes, master, we'll do everything you say. So it means even if it is drinking poison, which they already have introduced to Africa and even making it right here, it's gonna be so. Everyone needs to say just yes, master. It's okay. We need more of that. That is a leader over there. As much as he's a puppet, but those are the steps of leadership that we need to see. Those are the steps of leadership we need to see. No, it's a no. Let me share this.
Our natural resources alone, we do not need to be going to the IMF or World Bank.
I'm saying this. I've been saying this. My discussion on this, I think it was on Monday when I was talking about the IMF loan in Ghana, and not just Ghana, literally every African country right now, we are on debt. And there's some time back, we were checking on the scales, them trying to compare, the IMF is making the African countries pay back the interest at a bigger scale, and they're like, the Chinese are given the smaller percentage. And I'm like, it's not even making any sense, because it takes us back still to the BRICS economy, which is what they're trying to enforce the rest of the world to literally be introduced to. We know what is happening. We do not need any loans from nobody. We have all the resources. And my question was very simple. You have all the resources. You keep on attending all these meetings. What are you always talking about? Are you always just there sleeping like the rest of these? Because they are old Negroes who are given job opportunities to become leaders. Old. You need to be on the bed rest, but you're here acting like a leader. You need to be literally on a retirement, 71 years old. That is a leader, the current elect of Nigeria. What are you supposed to talk to the youth about? You're 70 years ahead of us and your head cannot even function. How am I supposed to listen to you? Do you understand what is development? What is revolution? Or are you going to be talking like Ruto? We need 50-50 revolution. The Europeans need to get 50. The Africans need to get 50. What are you talking about? And then you claim we are in debt. It doesn't make any sense. Karibu sana, Keith.
Asante sana, Joby. You're just talking about another puppet. Nigeria has another puppet. It's not. Nigeria can't rise since Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. It's kept. You got assassinations and people dying and puppets put in. Africa is held hostage. Isn't it funny? They
Mm-hmm.
only push the LGBT agenda to Africa. They're not pushing it to the Arab countries. Not talking about the Arab. We're gonna get rid of
Exactly.
your loans because you know
Mm-hmm.
what this is about depopulation. They're not demanding the Arabs to do a goddamn thing. To worry about that
True.
African woman's womb while they keep giving babies. Everything they done didn't work. So that's what this has always been about. They're not telling nobody else this LBGTQ shit. Why they not telling the Arabs, hey, you must accept it. You must do it. You must do it. You must do it. You must do it. Because they're white like them. That's why. Why they force this on African people who don't want it? And stay and if it costs your life for 70, do something worthwhile in your life. If it costs your life, so what? So what? Let
Mm-hmm.
African people see you at least they have a stand for something. Stop being a bootlicking coward. All you guys are
Exactly.
puppets. Your people know it. Most of your people know it now, finally, that you're not elected.
Mm-hmm.
You're all put in to do the bit of Europeans. That's why Africa's impoverished. Like Ben told you, Africa doesn't need any loans from anybody. Everything's in
Mm-hmm.
Africa. Why loan me for what? Understand the hustle. They talk about the loans are to keep you enslaved poverty and debt in a debt trap. I don't need any loans. Oh, everything comes from me. That's why they're trying to force loans on Eritrea right now. Says, no, we
Mm-hmm.
don't need any loans. What you mean? You better accept these loans. We don't want them because this is about control. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and it is crazy. This exactly like like she starts to the point where we've gotten right now. Like I always ask, it doesn't make any sense why we're still in debt. We have everything. We are the producers of everything. They're taking away. They're literally living off us, but they
It makes
still come
sense.
claim
Yeah,
they wanna help
exactly. They're
us.
living off you. It makes sense because they're wicked. They set up a system. You're supposed to be getting out of colonialism. They couldn't let you go. So they put up another scam called the Bretton Woods Accords with the IMF, the World Bank. They made up another scam. And like
Hmm.
they are. Yes, Joby. They're living off the reason why Europe live in great standards of living because they've been stealing out of Africa. They
Hmm.
don't want to make. I showed a TikTok video last night. My thing went off. Man, that's what happened. My tablet wasn't powered enough. I didn't power it up enough. That's what happened last night. There's a video of them telling the truth. They don't want to improve Africa
Hmm.
because Africa is the resources, but it's stealing everything to make their lives better, not yours. Like when I got to Africa could industrialize overnight. It'd be wealthy overnight. Everybody knows this. It's not even rocket science. You're gonna be a genius to know that. They keep the Africans in poverty, keep the Africans ignorant because it
Yeah,
benefits them.
true,
Good.
true.
We have people who are picking up chunks of gold, chunks of lithium, chunks of precious mineral. Africa does not need
Duh.
the largest quantities of arable land, over 65% of the world
It's in
arable land is
Africa.
in Africa. You take the situation
Arable
in
land. The
Ukraine,
majority
a
of
tiny little
farm. Can you imagine this? Imagine the majority. Because the only African people grow food because these puppets. That 65% of the world's farmland is in Africa. I mean,
Hmm.
black Africa, not what the Arabs at. That's desert.
Hmm.
Where black people are
Hmm.
at. 65% of the world's food. That's why they're going to GMOs to destroy the goddamn crops in the land.
Hmm.
Them fucked up seeds.
But
It's
now we need the
65%.
NGOs.
Yeah,
We
these
need the
divine ass.
NGOs. Oh
Yeah,
my
these
God.
that's not about the CIA, NGOs, all that. Yeah, ain't no NGOs in America. Ain't no NGOs. They're all in Africa. All these NGOs because Africa's with the wealth. So like I said, whoever controls Africa controls the world. So she's telling 65% of the world's arable land is in Africa. That's over 50%. Imagine should nobody ever be starving in Africa ever. You got all the farmland, the majority of farmland in the world. And then you morons think you cursed by some fake guy, some white man told you. And you
Hmm.
show them the best place on the planet talking nonsense to your fucking mind on this crazy curse shit. You the one with all the gold, all the lithium, all the diamonds, all the everything. But the white man said we were cursed by the white folk. Fucking moron. Go ahead, shit angers me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look at how much Ukraine is providing, is importing to Africa. We don't need wheat from Ukraine.
Exactly.
This
Sure
is
don't.
an opportunity for us to be totally self-sufficient. I was talking to a brother from North Africa, and he said, Ambassador, we would love to get all our agricultural products out of sub-Saharan Africa, but the logistics of getting the products from sub-Saharan Africa to North Africa are so difficult that it is easier for them to get their wheat from Ohio
Yeah,
in the
he said
United
because
States.
you have infrastructure.
So we
Africa's,
can't
yeah,
wait
it's
to do.
about the infrastructure has never been developed. It's easier to go to Ukraine because of development than to get it out of the rest of Africa below them Arabs about because the infrastructure is so bad in Africa. Nobody's built good roads. Nobody's built good systems. That's on purpose. Exactly. No one's built it. They've only built things to steal shit out of there. None of these puppets, none of these fake Chinese shit you're talking about. There are no systems in Africa. It's 100 years behind infrastructurally. When Joe Biden walk around the streets and I walk around, it makes me cry. Like, what the fuck? African people, you're supposed to know you deserve better. Your streets are not supposed to look like this. You think you've been given religions. You think you're supposed to live fucked up. You're not. How the hell you live in the richest continent? Everybody else shit is developing. Yours is not. What's the scam? What's going on here? Oh, well, where the white people live down in South Africa, that gets to be developed because there's white people there. That's not the richest country in Africa, South Africa. Nigeria is. Why don't Nigeria look like South Africa? Because a lot of niggas live in Nigeria. That's why. The stealing, the theft, the grab. They're gonna steal out of South Africa, of course, but they're gonna make sure they leave a little money for their white buddies, their white cousins, to at least develop the country. The other African countries, fuck them. We're gonna steal, rob. We'll set these dumbass puppets up, and we'll keep this country underdeveloped because it benefits us. Look around Africa, shit, 100 years old. You're like, what the fuck is going on? You're supposed to be angry so you'll make a move. Supposed to sit there and just say, oh, well, the streets are supposed to look like this. Motherfucker, you got the internet now. Does the streets look like that anywhere in the goddamn planet? No. That's why that's why everybody's running out of Africa all of a sudden. Because now everybody's got access to the internet. Like, damn, the rest of the world don't look like this. What the fuck is going on? They're stealing from you, stupid. That's what's going on. That's why your cities and municipalities don't look like the rest of the world because they're stealing the wealth from Africa, from you, to build theirs up. You get, as me and Camblish and Joe was saying, if they steal the resource out of Africa, why they just build the industries there? Why take it all the way to China? Why do that? Because to promote white supremacy means black must be on the bottom. Because it would have been cheaper. It would be cheaper to build factories in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. It would been because the resources are there. It would have been cheaper for me to build my factories right in Africa where the resources come out the ground and not ship them on a boat or a plane and all that shit. Because the psychopath, the feel superior black people must be on the bottom. That's why they didn't do it. That's why. Go ahead, Joe.
As Africans, logistics alone are keeping us from having the effective intra-Africa trade that we need. So we have some serious low-hanging fruits that we need to address as a matter of agency. I think it is ridiculous that North Africa should have to procure its
Why
wheat
do you
from
think
the United
the
States.
African Union fired you, lady? Because you were telling the truth. The fake African Union run by white people, when you start talking that shit, they fired your ass. When you start telling the truth, African Union fired you. You're not the ambassador, they fired your ass. the Europeans said, shut this black bitch up now. And they fired you because you were telling the truth.
Like
The African Union doesn't represent African people. You start telling the truth about them stealing and why is Africa like you don't need loans. They say, hey, they made that call. Whoever was the head of the African Union say, hey, nigga, you better get rid of this broad. You better get rid of her now. Next you know, you
send
didn't.
that back.
They said they told you when you was sitting in America in your sleep, they called you middle of the night, Ambassador, you're fired. Bye. Goodbye. Good luck.
Like they did to Professor Lubumba as well. He was also
Oh
fired.
yeah, Kenya, but see, his was no, oh, he was just Kenya. He was because he had integrity. They would just give him a fake position. Hey, we're gonna have you look at corruption, but stupid, we don't really want you to look at corruption. Just a title and name. No, he got in there and started saying, hey, this is corrupt. We're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna do this. Oh, hold on, nigga. Hold on now. Hold on. You don't understand. You just the title we gave you. You ain't supposed to be for real. Your ass fired. Get out of here. Go ahead.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye. Bye.
A lot of African countries. I was shocked at the figures of the numbers of African countries that are getting their wheat out of Ukraine. I am shocked at the numbers of African countries that are importing chickens. Mozambique is importing 92% of their chickens. Ghana, 72%. Zimbabwe, I thought they were doing
Damn.
over 50% of their chickens are imported. Chickens
Keep
alone
impoverished.
are by far the most consumed meat on earth, and no other meat comes even close. African economy is around by chickens.
Just like we said with
So
that's why Campbell's right. That's why everything's more expensive with Africa, because you import everything. That's on purpose to keep you impoverished. I'm back in the day, and I said, why? Let's go to Africa. So why is everything so expensive? People, you think Africa's cheap? I'm telling you, it's not. I don't know how they put the African in poverty more than anybody on the planet. I don't know how they survive. Most of them, like the prices don't even make sense. Okay, let's say for one thing, Joby goes to KFC, right? Joby buys KFC. Mine in America is 10 times, and I can't stand that shit. Joby's KFC is 10 times more expensive than mine. And you're like, what? This is crazy. And Africans don't even know when they paying for shit that they're paying for shit 3 and 4 times the price of the rest of the planet. The shit is taken out their country. They make it in other countries. They bring it back at exorbitant prices. Cars, the materials. Japan doesn't have those materials those cars are made when they bring them back into Africa. But Japan has no resources. They got to ship and everything to build it, and then they ship the cars back to you at exorbitant prices. That's why we look at them cars. That's a used car. They be having a used car for $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. I'm like, what? That car wouldn't even be worth $900 in America. Are you crazy? What the fuck? I'm like, what? What are you insane? This car be like, that car's 2015, 2016, talking about $10,000. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? That car's worth about $900, and that's how they it's like a double stealing. And then the tax rate in Africa is crazy. The taxes are high as, oh my God, because the despots have to keep the taxes high because that's what they use to pay off the debt, the fake debt that these loans that were given to them at such exorbitant. It is so wicked. African people, they've kept us, Africans, understand, family. European is so wicked. When you understand the system, it's so evil. It's so wicked. You're never to get out of it. You're never to get out of this kind of poverty. You're never to escape. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Very low-hanging fruits that we could look at. Agriculture and mining are the 2 areas that if we focused on, Africa does not need to borrow money from the IMF or the World Bank. We can be completely self. the 5-member UN Security Council, that we must be the 21st member of the G21, that we must be the 8th member of the G7. As long as we are being told you have 55 different sovereign nations, we are
You can't
fighting.
feel hopeless because you can't feel hopeless. That's what they want you to feel. See, you got to make systems over time, Big Chief. What we're doing, that's why I think that show, me and the fellas, is so important. You got to, because the way they set up the system, it's going to be torn apart. Understand what they're doing. They worry about that birth rate. That African woman's birth rate is dangerous. And that's why they push the homosexual agenda so hard. Yeah, I told you, why did they not push it in Arab countries? Same way they give these Arab backward ass countries aid. And look, Big Cheese, in one generation, you educate enough. That's what they're scared about. Why they shut down channels and everything else. Why you get off Facebook. In one generation, it's all you need, Big Cheese, to educate enough Africans. One generation, it changes everything. They're scared to death. You know, I mean, you had no Jobies and Cameras them 10 years ago. They are scared they can't stop this. They can do whatever they want, they can't stop it. They can't stop it. They're trying to, whatever they're trying to do, they're trying to, you know what, they're trying to 19 you off the planet. They can't stop this. The natural progression of Africans taking control of the planet, they can't stop it. No matter what kind of shenanigans they do with disease and everything else, they can't stop this. They can't. It's ordained. It's ordained. See, because Africa can industrialize in one generation. And when it does that, it will be. That's why I tell you, Africa is the future. Everybody knows. That's why it's so heavily dominated, so heavily watched, so heavily scrutinized, so heavily. You got all the damn terrorism. You got all the terrorism and the destabilization and the dumbass puppet leaders in there. Same way we got puppet leaders in Africa. It's the same copy and paste with us. The only thing different between us and them, they sit on the richest land on the planet. So once they mind as waking up at least 10%, all you need is 10%. You need the rest. The majority of people, period, is stupid. You don't need the majority. The tipping point is always 10%. And so when I had TikTok on last night, my damn tablet went off. Shit, I was like, oh, what happened? I forgot didn't goddamn pop my tablet. So that's not bad. It wasn't YouTube took me down. TikTok, it just gives me so much hope because these are Africans and African American, but Africans mostly that's coming in my algorithm. So that's the creator let me know the African is waking up. Mostly in my algorithm is Africans telling history about Africa and what needs to be done. So there is an awakening. I don't feel hopeless at all. I see the writing on the wall. I see it there. There's a mad dash to make sure they see the European has a hold of a lion. They got a lion by the tail. And the lion is still reaching around trying to, bite their ass, but he's not, it's like a small lion. The lion's becoming bigger and bigger because you can't stop this awakening. Even though when Joby or Kay were talking about yesterday how they found out about the books. hey, you better take that real history out them books. Somebody slipped it in there. So the consciousness is raising. Somebody slipped that shit in that book. In them books where people say, hey, you gotta take this real history about this damn book. So at one time the history wasn't even known, it wouldn't even been tried to be snuck in there. We have we have to address everything we have been avoiding. Ignoring. Once we can identify the problem, we can find solutions. You only need 10%, Vince. You only need 10%. The rest of the Africans are going to be caught up in religious psychopathy with the damn Islam and the Christian Sandy. So as their children grow up and see the benefits of getting rid of that bullshit, they'll all come. So it's a process. Africa wasn't conquered in a day. It's not going to be free in a day. Everything was a process. So once the mind starts waking up, so that's see the great thing about this, the universe is on our side. The universal creator is on our side. When you understand why the gym on the food, that's to cut up your connection to God through food. Why the chemtrail in the sky trying to block out the sun, that's the energy of God, energy of the real creator, not their fake religion. They know what's coming. That energy, that's why you should always get out sun gates, always get out in nature, take off your shoes, get your feet in some kind of dirt, soil, sand, whatever, nature. So you can, what you want to do, you want to polarize yourself to the earth. The earth is a living entity and it's feminine. Earth is a feminine entity, living. Your ancestors do this, all ancient African science. The white people think it's just some rock you're sitting on or some stupid shit. But I think things grow out of the earth. The earth is a conscious entity and it's feminine. Earth is a feminine, conscious entity. But things grow out of it. It's conscious. So it's trying to shake out these people. That's why everybody's birth rate is fucked up. Okay? And it's funny, the African woman's birth rate, with all the injecting of AIDS and all that shit, the only one got a positive birth rate is what? The African woman. And like I shared that thing on TikTok, the little girl got it right. I love that TikTok video I had played last night. A little African girl got it right. The African woman's genome, nobody on the planet, on the African woman, has the genome of everybody on this planet. Know why? And she got it right. Because she's the closest thing to God. And that's a fact. No one but this African woman has all the genomes on this planet but her. Why is that? Ones that they changed, they should hate, they skin bleached, their minds all fucked up. Why is the African woman have the genome of everybody on this goddamn planet? She's the only woman. Only woman. Because she's the closest thing to God. That's why. And your ancestors knew this. See, genetically, that's a fact. So shout out to that young lady. You realize that. That's right. You can say, it's the Eve gene. She is the beginning of everything. Exactly. They ain't told the African woman that. She used to know that. They don't know, I'm worshiping Allah, wrapped up in that goofy shit, that head garment, that Allah, or Jesus and all that goofy shit. You came from a man's rib. Moron. You couldn't have come from nobody's rib. You got the genetics of everybody on the planet. You are the beginning of everything. You are God's first image on the planet. You understand that? You used to know that. That's why you venerated the black woman. Why you made sure she was loved. She felt cared for. She felt protected. Because the Africans knew that. Now they got some, oh, you came from a man's rib and you're sinful. And you're the first thing of sin. You don't get your goofy ass away from me with that bullshit. Go ahead, Joe. I want to hijack Joey's show. Lady that matters of the entire human race, including, she's including the black man. She's everything. The black woman is the alpha and the omega on the planet. I'm not going to tell her that. They were having some goofy church and Joby was a kid. You got to go to get your ass up at 3 o'clock and pray for your sins, Joby.
When we should be fighting with 5 fingers and throw
took over my show.
What Africa needs to understand is that we need to speak with one voice. For example, let's take the UN. If the Africans were to say, United Nations, you are a totally useless organization, you are a toothless bulldog, there's nothing there for us.
The UN was not set up for African people, lady. It was set up to destroy Africans. Glad you realize that.
Members
no, you get out of it. It's not the UN was set up to keep Africa fucked up, lady. Go ahead, Joe. Let me be quiet.
Only guilty of slavery, crimes that they have never been charged for, crimes they are struggling to pay reparations for. How then do you, the United Nations, continue to have these 3 members of the UN Security Council who continue two of them, I'm talking Britain, I'm talking France, they continue to have remains of our ancestors, physical bodies of our ancestors, who they classified as trophies of conquest, and they refused to return them because they are equivalent to an animal. Just like you went to Africa and you killed a lion, you equally killed a human being. That is your trophy.
There'll be some of the
So
artifacts
this
that they won't get
refusing
back.
to train them. Hello, President, Secretary Guterres, what are you doing? Let's look at the artifacts that were stolen, priceless. They all know where the artifacts came from. They are nicely displayed in a museum, showing what country they were stolen from, and nobody is talking about it. Again, Secretary Guterres, where are you? Let's talk about some of the basic egregious abuses of Africa. Let's look at the World Trade Organization. They are giving a blind eye. Look at Swiss coffee, Swiss chocolate, and yet we know all that chocolate is coming from West Africa. Switzerland does not have a single cocoa plantation. Where is the World Trade Organization? Why aren't you challenging them? It's been acceptable that Africa is supposed to produce and provide raw materials for the Western world.
Sure.
What Africa needs to do, for example, they could simply say, we are no longer going to attend the United Nations until we are sixth member of the UN Security Council. After all, African countries are the largest voting bloc at the United Nations. And instead, African countries are being used to vote on behalf of other countries on their agendas. You come, we give you a brown envelope, vote with us on our agenda. Africans must unite. If Africans were to speak with one voice and say, we will no longer be attending the United Nations, guess what? Things will change. Is these African countries, former colonies?
Literally, I guess in all, as I just get to pull this down, she's talking about us rebuilding everything, resetting everything. We need our own currency. We need our own system of education. We need everything, our own system of politics. We need everything being reset, because if you keep on talking about that, we need to tell them to do this about one country. What about the rest of the countries? We need to
No,
educate.
she's saying unite. She's saying you must unite.
I know she said that, but we see most of the African leaders do not really know about unity. They don't talk unity.
They
as
know
a
about
whole.
it, Joe, but they're told not to unite. They know that.
Tribalism.
They know about uniting, Joby. They're told
But
you bet not ever do it.
Do they talk about it?
No, because I got the call. You bet not talk about unite. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. You understand that? That's what I'm telling you.
So the fact that it's not even spoken about and fear is the number one agenda being spread, where you can't talk about your change, then that is because they're the ones who have actually displayed to the rest of us, like, you can't talk about change. If you try to talk about this, like you just said, for her, she was fired, Professor Lumumba was fired, you're either assassinated or something happens to you. So till when we're scared. So it's up to us to call up, drop the fear. I love the people are waking up and everything. And like you said, no matter how they try to stop the energy, move the energy of truth coming towards us, it's all coming. Because again, I didn't actually think about the book deeper the way you just said it. How did that information just fall on those textbooks? Someone is trying to let people know about the truth idea. I didn't think of it that deep, but that's actually amazing. Thank you. But anyway, as we get closer to winding up,
and Vince, she wanted to shut up. She was talking that way, and when she was in the African Union, that's why they fired her. She was talking about France was stealing all the money, and France would be a third world country without Africa. She was the one telling. So she has been speaking. Some things I disagree with her on, because she keeps talking about that. She keeps talking about some of the Europeans will help you. They're not going to help us. They're not going to do nothing. That's why they fired your ass. There are solutions for freeing Africa from colonial ties, but they won't bring exactly. They're all puppets and scared to death. They're not leaders. These African people that you see as presidents, they're not what you would call real leaders. They're not what you call in ancient time African leaders. They're not put in by the people. They're selected by their masters to do their bidding. That's why Africa hasn't changed. Why it's so underdeveloped, because they're told, we're going to let you and your families get some of this money, a little bit of your puppets around you, but the majority of that wealth comes to us. You have not built no military. We'll come in and we'll put in terrorism. will destroy you and will murder you in your bed. You understand this? So it behold, like Riddle told the truth in one of those videos, like Slightly said, hey, they tell you whenever they got one of these African summits, they threaten you. That's right. Most of them don't know they get threatened. Most Africans don't know these leaders get threatened. Hey, nigga, you better bring your black ass here at a certain time, or there will be consequences. That's why you see them always on a plane going somewhere else and all that shit, getting on buses like children, because they were threatened. They don't got any real military. That you think Kenya's got a military? You got that like Captain Crunch. I'm going to invade you. I'm going to invade Kenya with what? With what? God, ain't got no real military. What? There's no real African military on the continent.
With some matoke.
Maybe South Africa, except the white people there.
He will invade Kenya with some matoke. That is what he's going to do.
Yeah, with a bunch of bananas and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat this matoke, nigga. Why take over Kenya? Eat it, Joby. Eat the matoke.
I know, right? It's crazy. But as we get closer to winding up, let's get to the focus of the day. And this is actually about the foreign minister of Russia. He paid a visit to Kenya, and this was an unexpected visit. Like for me as a Kenyan, I didn't know that these old mangoes here was supposed to come here, okay? And I don't know which agenda was because they're not displayed. But apparently, he did come to discuss about the BRICS economy with Ruto, and also headed to Burundi to talk about the nuclear energy. So we know what is really going on right here already. We know what is going on. Like you just mentioned here, they were told like, hey, I'm coming. I need you to sit your ass down. You're not going to know irrigation of Tinubu, the current elected Nigerian president, and you need to listen to these orders so we can tell what is happening. I think Ruto has been letting us know about the collapse of dollar. And I think he has been letting us in a few ways, this is what they are looking for to join.
Yeah,
and also we had some other African countries who are actually had applied for the BRICS economy alliance. So we know what is coming.
The new fake system created also by the same people that created the goddamn IMF and the World Bank. Same thing. It's another damn fake trap. Keep talking about, oh, this is gonna be so much better. No, because the other system is dying. System that they created when they were stealing from the United States. Every system you create is always going to have an end because it's nothing but theft and graft. It's going to collapse. So Americans are already robbed and everything's collapsing like every empire does. See, I understand this, family, about the nature of the universe. Things rise and things fall. America is now on the fall. And so what they're trying to do, make sure that they don't fall with the empire that they created. They set up a new empire in China. So you get that's why they talk about this fake digital currency in China. China's wicked as shit. So why the fuck one of the African leaders talking about how wicked China is? They put you to slave debt, trade debt. They're the ones once you have social credit score. You know how fucked up China is? People can't even go, their phones get turned off, they get forced to stay in their house, all kind of wicked ass rules. They don't. That's never shown on the media. You never see the real China, how oppressive, how fucked up it is, because the same people now promoting China were the ones who created China. You don't see how wickedly oppressive China is. How them people live all fucked up over there. Why you'll never see that on the news? Because the same people that own all the news are trying to push you to the Chinese brick system. That's why. Exactly. It's nothing but goddamn switch, bait and switch. Now we got a new system. We want all you niggas now go over to that system now, nigga. Does it free you?
Understand.
No.
We understand this part of the New World Order because I was reading some article right here, and it says, which is actually all lies, but it says that the acronym began as somewhat, they're actually questioning if this is a New World Order. This is actually their symbol, but we know it's part of the New World Order. That is actually
exactly what it is.
So they're saying that
we're tired of America. You know, the same people that created America, the same people that created China, same people that control us, same people behind the scenes.
So they're saying that it was formed This was actually in 2014. I won't read the first whole part. We know which country it comprises of, the five countries, the G7 and everything. So I won't mention all that. They're saying that this actually was built to challenge the World Bank model. And in 2014,
Mhm.
50 billion US dollars in
So
seed
what you said,
money.
I want you to listen, Joby. See, the World Bank model. The World Bank and IMF are dying. So if I know they're
Mhm,
dying, I'm going to build my new system and say this is built to challenge my old system. Now,
uh-huh.
all you got to
I
do,
know.
Joby, when you get a chance, say who, say the Goldman Sachs. This is an American company. Say Goldman Sachs come up with the BRICS ideal. See if Google tell you that. Say the Goldman Sachs. Goldman is SASCH. Yes, Sachs. SASH.
Goldman. You said
Goldman,
Goldman.
yeah, Goldman Sachs. That's a big
Goldman. Oh, oh,
investment
okay.
company. Say
Okay.
Goldman. Say Goldman SASCH come up with the BRICS ideal. And you know it's the cats with the small hats that old Goldman Sachs, Joby. The cats with the small hats.
Goldman Sachs come up with.
The Goldman Sachs come up with the BRICS ideal. Or say basket of currency. That's what BRICS is based on, a basket of currencies.
Let me see.
They haven't swept it from the internet yet. He said, how can a player in the main system that they got in America now be the one who thought the new system called BRICS? The cats with the small hats. When you get, that's why Rudo goes to that wall and prays on them rocks. Get on these rocks, nigga, and you get to praying. That's why he goes up there, prays on them rocks, Joby. I said, what's he doing up there praying the rocks? Because it's the cats with them small hats. That's why. Who own these banks. You say anything, says anything about it, Joby?
Yeah, I'm trying to check some articles familiar.
Okay.
How many acronym from
It's
Goldman
an
Sachs?
investment banking firm started by the same Rothschilds, Rockefeller stuff. They the ones came up with that idea. They know most people don't know. You know, they knew the old system is dying, so you just take the old system and create a new system. Say, hey, yeah, this system is all fucked. So you pretend like you, the Hegelian dialectic, problem reaction. We're gonna destroy the old system because it's wicked. They do wicked things. Come join our new system. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's the old saying, the new boss same as the old boss, because it's the
Mm-hmm.
same boss.
Exactly. So I see they're saying that on the desk of Jim Nail, chief economist for Goldman Sachs, stand for filmsy flags, and they look out of place among the expensive computer terminals of the investment bank's splash London office, like leftovers of a child's geography homework or cheap mementos from backpacking trips to exotic parts of the world. But these flags hit at a more interesting story of the latest way which money ideas are reshaping the world, and the small scraps of fabric are pennants for big countries: Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and
There you go.
almost a
The
decade
BRICS,
ago.
Joby, the BRICS countries. Right
Mm-hmm,
there, Goldman Sachs, the cats with the small hats.
mm-hmm,
We created BRICS. You're not to
mm-hmm.
know that. You believe, oh, China, it's China. You don't get your ass out of here.
It's crazy. So you can see what they're telling us now on the internet, that it's now this was built for a to challenge
Yeah,
the World Bank. It is set
exactly,
to
Joby.
expand,
Exactly.
all
Exactly.
that. This stupidity. And still they go on with the conspiracy theory. Every time we try to look about anything with the New World Order, they tell us this is a conspiracy theory.
Exactly.
It's a conspiracy theory that the New World Order is a secretive power elite with a globalist agenda and is conspiring to eventually rule the world over the authoritarian one world government, which we know. And all that is a
Exactly.
conspiracy theory. What are they trying to do if it's all a
That's why the
conspiracy
UN
theory?
was. That's why the UN was created for one world government. Now they're going for it. They're like, yeah, we're going for it now because we got all the countries in lined up. Exactly right. Problem, reaction, solution.
Solution.
Hegelian dialectic. So if you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking at, oh, this a new thing, bro. We're gonna get out of the wicked system of the Americans and the other British and moron. Same people created that system. The cats with the small hats
Mm-hmm.
created the BRICS movement. The same people, stupid. Same
Crazy,
people.
crazy. But let me play this as we wind up.
Go ahead, Joby. Exactly right, bitch. And it's funny. All conspiracies have been proven correct. So how can it be conspiracies? All these conspiracy theories have been proven correct, all of them. And that's the they see too many people waking up.
Ukraine.
Bet my internet is buffering. Can you hear me, Keith?
Yeah, I hear you, Joby. I hear you. Yeah, your internet's messing up. I hear you though.
Malaya, ndashinda nikibaidi tu.
The cats and
Okay,
the
you hear
cats
me
with
okay?
the cats with the small hats don't want you playing this shit. Get your mind right, Joby.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we gonna have your ass up there praying from them rocks too, young lady.
William Root.
The Black Sea Initiative regarding exporting Ukrainian products, grain and other from Ukrainian ports. We have commented on it repeatedly. Out of, I think, 30 million tons that have been exported, less than 3% went to the poorest countries.
Lavrov's next stop is Burundi and the East African countries currently chairing the East African Community's regional bloc. The Russian foreign minister is accused the worst of supporting genocide in Ukraine through its backing of President Volodymyr Zelensky's peace plan. This is what Ukrainian Foreign
It is
Affairs...
always blame games, stupid blame games. This has done this is doing this has done this, please.
Minister had to say when he was in Africa.
Bread prices in Africa, in Asia, and in South Africa depend on very simple fact: how much grain can be exported from Ukraine per year.
Yeah, but why?
And if Russia did not invade, we would not have this problem.
I got the best land. Why am I importing wheat from your ass? I don't need to import no wheat from you. All I got to do is start cultivating my farms in Africa. I got the best land, so I can make the best wheat. I don't need shit from you white people. The things to make sure you white people had businesses and jobs, as Yobi said, off the backs of Africans. Without Africa, your countries collapse. That's why. And you're right, Ben. That's happened 100 years. It's the same model they did 100 years ago with the Great Depression, you're right, and the Spanish flu. So say just replace 19, all right, with the Spanish flu and the collapse of America now. Exactly right. They already done it 100 years ago. It's the same people. Same fucking family, same cats with the small hats. Done that there too. Go ahead, Joe.
Would not have had this problem, but we have it now. This is where you come here and we say, guys, we fight a war, we will win. We are certain about that. But in the meantime, we want to revive our relations.
The Russian foreign minister is headed to the BRICS foreign ministers meeting in Cape Town, South Africa. Lavrov is not facing a warrant of arrest. The issue of the International Criminal Court is thorny for the...
Yes, they did, Vince. Yes, they did. But what
let me wrap this up. But check this out. The reason why South Africa is without power, because the cats with the small hats told that goofy nigga, you're going to put windmills and solar panels, shit that don't work for a country. You must have real renewable power like nuclear or other real sources. What they trying to do in America, the farmland is bad. All these wicked motherfuckers are trying to stop farming, trying to get you to eat bugs. That's why people are sitting in the dark in South Africa, because they were forced. Instead of him being a man, all these weak ass puppets, we're not doing none of that shit. That don't work. Oh, we got to get rid of carbon. Hey, moron. You been African. You are carbon, stupid. That's what you are. Melanin is carbon, dummy. 666.
That is our
And you,
billionaire Bill Gates that every African has been sharing, funding all this
exactly.
stupid shit. You know,
Exactly.
and he's the forefront man. But anyway, family, we'll be wrapping it up there. And yes, Vince, I agree with you. They did subject Africans to racism when they were trying to flee Ukraine. Nigerians, a lot of them, and they still don't even listen. They always Nigerians, man. I don't know. Something's just always up with these people anyway. Much love, family. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been the Pan African Bliss. And of course, remember to join us later on the Tubonge show. Shall be me, Kamlesh, and of course with Shimani
Of,
and Katie.
of
And I
course
hope you
they
guys have
tried to.
a
Of
fine
course they
time.
did that
Tune
to
in.
Africans because they're racist about, and they got them coming to Africa. And the fun part, the Russians too, racist as hell. The Russians were putting people out their apartments, putting these Africans out their apartments. You niggas don't get to ride the trains and the subway. You walk and sit in the street. See, why these leaders never teach the Africans that? Told not how racist these people are. They run out. They run out. They run outside a chair and get to there. Realize they don't like their ass. What's going on? I seen the Russian person in talking to my leader. Why are these Russians calling me nigger and putting me out in the street?
They calling you
But
moron. You're like, uncle. Okay, cause what's a moron? You know, like you moron. Go back to Africa. Go fix your shit.
like the moron said, hey,
Because
cuz, what's a
moron.
moron?
Peace, family. See you guys on the Tubonge show.
When China put out all those people and all those black people in China in 2000. That's because they're racist. That's the funny part. That you niggas, they put them out in the streets, man. And they were in their own apartments in China. You niggas get in the street, kicked them out their own apartments. And ain't not one African country do a damn thing.
Neanderthals. That's a good one. But anyway, family, much love. See you guys
Right?
on the Tubonge show.
Neanderthals.
Thank you so much, Vince, for tuning in.
What's
Hope you
up,
stay
fam?
safe. Asante
Hey,
sana.
do I need to
And
send
of
cameras
course,
money to travel?
I'm not sure yet. He's not communicated. I bet he's already on his way, so we'll know later. We need to figure a way out
Okay,
on how to work on
I
that.
got to send you guys money for those. Like I said, you send you guys money now for those tickets so you can pay for them early. Send you that.
Okay.
Get your
All
ticket
right.
money
Peace,
so you
family.
guys
Thank
can
you.
get your dance on. But they're gonna be out there being reporters. They're gonna be out there getting their dancing on. Somebody gonna think she's on TikTok. Get my TikTok on out here, y'all.